I have a theory about something, and I don't know if it is true. However, if it is, it will completely change the book. What the fuck? Hi guys, I wanted to do a really quick mini book haul because I got a few books for my birthday and I'm very excited to read them. So I thought I'd do a little mini haul before we get into the video. So first up we've got, and this is probably the most obvious one, and it is Fearless. So my boyfriend got me this for my birthday. I did get it and read it early because my birthday's on the 23rd of April. This came out on the 8th. So he did give it to me early so that I could read it like as soon as it came out, which I was very, very happy about. And this is a hardcover and it's just gorgeous. The other book that he got me is Voice of the Ocean. This book is beautiful. I love it. I'm really excited to read this. I've never read any like siren books or just like anything of that sort. I've only really started reading paranormal romances and some romantasy, this series being my first romantasy series ever, and I think like Bride by Ali Hazelwood counts as a paranormal romance or it's romantasy. Either way, this is like the first book that I dipped my toes into, and that was literally a year ago because I got those books for my birthday last year. So I haven't read a ton of it, and I also haven't read anything like this yet, so I'm really excited for this. And this author, I actually used to watch her on YouTube, so because she used to make Sims videos, and yeah, so it's really cool to see that she's got a book come out. And there's actually, because I got a Waterstones notification about this book being released, and I saw it and I was like, okay. And then I realised that it was by her, so I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And then the other two books are books that I've been wanting for quite a while, and that is Carrie Soto is Back and Daisy Jones and the Six, both by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I feel like this one is like one of the most popular BookTok books ever, and this one is by Taylor Jenkins Reid and it's set in the Readerverse or whatever it's called. Readverse or Readverse, I don't know, but it is Taylor Jenkins like Hollywood series sort of thing. It's not a series, but I think like they're sort of like interconnected standalones. Is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones and the Six, Malibu Rising, and Carrie Soto is Back. I wasn't like, oh my god, I have to pick this up, and then I read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Malibu Rising, and I was like, okay, I think I actually should pick this up. But also with all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books that I've read so far, I've enjoyed them so much more than I thought I would. Yeah, I'm excited to read this. And then we have Daisy Jones and the Six. I actually think I'm really, really, really gonna like this. And I know it's the way that it's written, at least some of it is written, or maybe all of it is written like in an interview like script style sort of thing, which I'm really, really, really excited to read through. And I really want to read this next, but I'm filming another video at the moment and I can't read this one for that video, and I also want to read this for another video. So I really do want to read it, but I'm not going to read it just yet. But it's one of the books that I'm most excited to read this year. So yeah, this was my little mini book haul for my birthday. I am gonna let you guys enjoy the actual vlog. Okay, I'm really sorry if this is really like up close and personal, but my tripod does not want to stand anywhere else in the car. We are going to go and get Fearless now, and I thought I'd bring you guys along with me to go get it, but also to actually do a reading vlog with it, because I thought that would be fun. I did do a bit of a reading vlog with Reckless, but it wasn't specifically just for Reckless, if that makes sense. So I thought that this would be fun to do one for Fearless and kind of just dedicate it to Fearless. There's a guy sitting like right in front of the car and he's staring at me and he can definitely see me filming and it's making me feel very awkward. But I just went to Waterstones and I wanted to pick up Fearless but the special edition and A Line of Abundance by Emma Mumford, which also comes out today. However, and judging like by the fact that I do not have any clips from Waterstones, but the lift to get upstairs to the shop where Waterstones is attached to is out of order, so I couldn't actually go up. Luckily my boyfriend was with me, so he went up to pick up Fearless. I'm so happy. This book feels literally massive. I think this is gonna be my only special edition of this series that I actually read the hardback from, because all the other ones I read paperback and I had the paperback ages before I had the special edition, if that makes sense. Oh, please don't park next to me, that's so awkward. Okay, he's not, thank God for that. This is the cover of it, and then that is the back. I'll show you guys properly. There's people walking past the car, so it's really awkward. But I'll show you guys properly when I get home. Basically, my plan for today is to read, and I am gonna go swimming this afternoon, but that starts at 2:30, so I'll probably leave at about 2. But I saw a really cute toilet brush, which is something I never thought I'd ever say, but I insert a picture of it, and it's so freaking cute. Like, so cute. But I'm getting really hot in this car. But yeah, I have seen a few like theories and stuff that people have said. I'm not gonna talk about them because I don't want to spoil it for anyone else, because I kind of wish that I didn't see those things. Okay, so it's 7:15 and it has been raining literally all day today. It's crazy, like it's 7:15 and it's so light outside right now, but I just wanted to come outside and get some fresh air. I haven't honestly read that much. It's been out for a week now. I'm about 100 pages in, and yeah, I'm hoping that tonight we can make some progress with it, so I'm gonna get on with my other bits and then it'll be time to read. Hello everyone, it is 10:30 p.m. if you can't tell, and I'm about to crack into Fearless. I have a theory about something, and I don't know if it is true. However, if it is, it will completely change the book. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm being thick or whether this is what Lauren wants us to think at this stage in the book. So, I don't know if I'm going to get the reading done because I'm so tired, but I'm going to crack into this. I'm at page 160 now. I read like 60-ish pages today, maybe a little bit more than that. So I have done some more reading today and I'm officially like properly intrigued now. I feel like when the book first started I was intrigued, and then it got to I'd say like just under 100 pages, and it's kind of just like I want to know the ending, but I'm not bothered about what happens until then, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't hooked. Whereas now, I'm kind of just like, okay, I need to find out whether I am being silly, or if that's actually like true, if that makes sense. If you want to see the spoilers, like towards, like, it will be at the end, and I'll discuss what I'm thinking right now in that. I'm on chapter 15 now. No, I'm not. I'm chapter 21. Chapter 21. Yeah, I'm not loving it so far, but I'm enjoying it. I also feel like it's taken me so much longer to get through than most other books that I read. I'm only on page 160, which may sound like a lot, but it's 528 pages or something like that. I'm intrigued. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know if my theory is correct, basically. So yeah. Good night. Hi guys, I'm gonna read Fearless. I ended up getting it on my Kindle because, one, I can read so much easier on my Kindle because it's so easy to hold. Obviously, like, you don't have to hold a book open. You can hold it with one hand. I have a pop socket, so I can hold it like this as well. And it is just generally so much easier to read, like, physically. It's a lot less painful to hold than a book. So I ended up caving. Originally I was like, I'm not paying £10 to have the ebook copy of a book I have, and I also will be getting the paperback version of. I caved in the end. I kind of just want to skip to the end. I don't massively love what's happening. It makes sense, but I don't love it, to be honest. But I feel like I'm more enjoying listening to it, even though I haven't listened to it very much. But I was just listening to it whilst I was getting ready and stuff, and I'll probably listen to it tomorrow whilst I run some errands and stuff as well, which is another reason why I like having the Kindle version of it, because you can listen to it like without buying the ebook. You can, if you get the Alexa app, which is free, you can get it to read books to you. It is read literally in Alexa's voice, so it can be annoying sometimes. And sometimes, like, it will randomly, like, just stop. However, I am more than happy to use that than have to buy the ebook version and the audiobook, or the audiobook and the physical book, or just like all three, if that makes sense, because, like I said, I find reading on my Kindle so much easier. I'm hoping, I want to have, oh, I didn't realise it was on still. I want to have Fearless done by Sunday. Like, ideally I'd finish it tomorrow. I feel like that might be a little bit ambitious of me because I have uni work to do. I've got errands to run, but like I said, I can listen to it whilst I run my errands and whilst I'm driving. I feel like as well, like, I've not had the chance to read for the last couple of weeks until it's been quite late at night, and then I'm too tired to read and I'm like falling asleep, and like I can't like focus on the words, if that makes sense. Like, I can't actually physically read it properly. I'm gonna stop rambling, and hopefully next time I see you, I'm on page 317 now, which is 54% through. Hopefully next time I see you, I'll be like, hopefully like 80% through. I'm hoping we can get some good reading done. I've read literally a few pages and I'm crying. Okay, so I have just been driving home. So I went into town, and I'll show you guys the journal I got because it was really cute. But I had to get a new journal today because I had one like side of a page left, and I just thought it was so cute, and I've been having like so many strawberries and like strawberry syrups and stuff and everything, so I thought this was literally perfect. But I've been listening to Fearless for probably like an hour or so, like in total, and what the fuck, I like was driving home like this. Now it was a little bit like, what was a cat? It was a little bit like I clocked on to what's just happened, but like it's still hearing it. It's like, oh my god. I need to read the rest of this book before like I can do anything else. Finished. That was rough. Hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome to the end of the vlog. So I have finished Fearless, and my bookmark is actually still in here. I got this far in, and then the rest I read on my Kindle, which I can't find. I am really happy that I've finished this for multiple reasons. I finished it nearly a week ago now, which is kind of crazy. So it's been a good few days. I wanted to give myself some time to think about it, let everything sink in and stuff, because as you saw from the last few clips, I was a bit emotional reading it. So yeah, Fearless is done, and I have mixed reviews on this book. So just for a bit of context, Powerless I absolutely loved, and it was a 5-star for me. My original like rating was like a 4.5, 4.25, but like I literally did not stop thinking about the book. I was like, no, this is the 5-star factor. So it became 5 stars for me, and then obviously I wanted to read the rest of the series. I think I rated Reckless a 3 or 3.5, and Fearless I'm gonna rate 4 stars, which that's still a really good rating, but it didn't have the 5-star factor for me. I have still like been thinking about it a lot and all of that, but there were just a few things that I didn't enjoy about the book, and it definitely made me kind of like read it slow because I wasn't as interested. I felt like it took really long to get hooked, if that makes sense. Whereas like I feel like it normally wouldn't take me that long to get hooked in a book if it was really like that good, if that makes sense. And like that's the same for like all my 5 stars, as I get hooked quite early on, whereas I was probably got to like page like 400 before I was like, no, okay, like I have to find this out now. And that's 400 on the Kindle version, which is like 600 pages, whereas this is 527. Kindle version is 598, I'm pretty sure. So it's a little bit different. If you want to hear my full thoughts, including spoilers, then that'll be in a minute, but I'm gonna keep this spoil free. But I was really hoping this was going to be a 5-star read for me, because obviously Powerless was 5-star, Reckless wasn't a 5-star, but I feel like it's because it felt so much like a middle book and it was quite repetitive. I also did a reading vlog for Reckless, so I'm not going to go into my thoughts on Reckless here. I'm a bit disappointed that this wasn't a 5-star for me. However, I am still really glad that I read this, and I feel like the ending is like the best way for them to have for the series to be wrapped up, if that makes sense. I feel like some aspects were dragged out a little bit, and it's really hard to explain why it isn't a 5-star without doing spoilers. So if like this doesn't sound that interesting, then I'm sorry, but like obviously I'm not going to spoil the book. I did find some things a bit predictable, so I wasn't like completely shocked by everything, but then some things I was kind of just like, oh, it's actually happening, even though I'd kind of predicted that it was possible. Despite this, I was still like really interested in finding out why those things happened, because there are a few things that I kind of pieced together and I was like, oh my god, and then you find out that it's true or it does happen, and then you're like, oh my god, it's actually happening, and then you find out why and you're like gobsmacked. So I still had a really good time reading it. It was definitely better than Reckless in my opinion. If you didn't like Reckless but you loved Powerless, I would still suggest that you read Fearless, because I think it concludes the story really well. I would say it's definitely worth the read. It wasn't as good as Powerless, but it was a lot better than Reckless. It was emotional. Like, you really go through it in this book. You also have a point of view that I was not expecting in this book, and I loved it. Like, that really added to the story. I really enjoyed this and I would really recommend it, but I'm just going to leave it there for the rest of the video, and I will speak to you guys about spoilers if you're interested. If not, thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I'll see you guys next month. Okay, so I'm sorry you can see the reflection in the mirror. So my little spoiler review of Fearless is, I did find it a little bit predictable in some of the things that happened. For instance, I figured out that Kit and Paydon were related as soon as you find out that the king gave up a child. I have a theory about something, and I don't know if it is true. However, if it is, it will completely change the book. As soon as like we read that, I was just like, okay, she's related to Kit. And obviously at this point we know that Kit and Kai have different dads. So it's like, okay, well, she's not related to Kai, but she's related to Kit. And then that, I thought, okay, like I saw that coming. However, I didn't clock that Paydon's dad actually wasn't the king, it was Callum. That I did not clock. I did clock that she was the child that the king ordered to be taken care of. However, I did not clock that her mum had had an affair and that she was a product of the affair, not the king. That I did not clock onto. So it's like I kind of realised these things, but I didn't realise like the full story, if that makes sense. And then I knew that Kit was going to die at the end. Like I had this feeling I knew he was going to die at the end. I have had this feeling that, and I could be completely wrong here, but part of me feels like Kit is going to die and Paydon would have already become queen, or Kit dies, then Paydon marries Kai. Kit has just said he's been feeling a bit under the weather, and they're talking about how he didn't look well. So now I'm like, is he ill? Like, is he actually ill? I'm also like, the only way that Kai and Paydon could be together is if Kit is out of the picture. But I didn't clock on to who killed him and why, if that makes sense. Honestly, I think him going crazy, like it made sense. I also kind of feel like him doing the whole lacing the roses and taking them to turn everyone over and basically starting the plague again, I didn't really feel like that was him. I think that he kind of went delusional because of the grief and the loss of his dad. But I kind of feel like Kit wouldn't have actually done that. Like, starting, obviously he went crazy because he took the plague, but I partly feel like it didn't completely make 100% sense that Kit would have got the plague to come back to life, if that makes sense. Not back to life, but become a thing again. Obviously that was his plan. He literally took the plague. He is the one who made the people make another dose of it. I kind of feel like, obviously grief does a lot of things for people, and obviously everyone responds differently to grief, but I kind of feel like it wasn't really him. I also think the whole trials thing in Fearless, whilst it made sense, I kind of feel like we've already had trials done in this series before. We didn't need to see it again. Like, this is one of the reasons why it isn't a 5-star for me, is because I really loved the trials in the first book. However, I think if you're doing trials more than once in a series with the same characters, obviously if it was something like The Hunger Games, where I've never actually read The Hunger Games, so I'm going off of what I know from the films and stuff, but obviously you have like Katniss in The Hunger Games in, I presume it's the first book, and then in the new book it's Haymitch's Hunger Games. That makes sense. It's the same series. That makes sense because it's 2 different characters. However, that being said, I did really love the book and I am glad I read it. I just think that there are certain bits, I feel like the trials made this book longer than it needed to be, and it made it feel so much longer than it was, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't ever really find myself wanting to pick it up that often because it was the trials that kind of bored me. Going into it is I did feel like Kit was gonna have to die if they ended up actually getting married, because at that point I have mixed opinions. Some things were predictable, but I didn't predict like the whole thing, if that makes sense. But nevertheless, even though it may sound like I'm saying it was bad, it was still a good book and I still enjoyed it. But obviously I just wanted to be like honest about my full thoughts on it all. So yeah, I'm gonna end off the video here and I really hope that you guys enjoyed.